How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to talk about a couple different topics that are on my mind. First of all, I want to get into this idea of white privilege. I'm a white guy, can't hide that. And Sicilian, actually, Italian. And, one of the things that I've noticed shift since I was born, I'm a 1980s baby, is that I'm no longer allowed to be proud of my heritage. White people in general aren't. When you listen to the indoctrinated left, they have the most hateful things to say about us because of where we come from and because of the skin color that we were born with. Isn't that exactly what Martin Luther King and some of the black activists from the history spoke out against? See, it kind of dawned on me that the left project what they are onto us. They say that white privilege exists, but actually, it's black privilege that exists. Black people, if all things are equal, will get a job faster and more frequently than a white person will because of affirmative action. That's a black privilege. Black people don't like hearing that. See, they think that they deserve these things because of their skin color. That's racism. They call us racist, but they're the ones that really, truly are exhibiting those qualities. When you say all lives matter, black people and those that support the Black Lives Movement get infuriated. They get so mad. Why is that? Well, it's because I think BLM really means Black Lives Most. They really think that Black lives matter more. All lives don't matter, Black lives do. You know? Why can't it be both? Why do they need to differentiate? Because most is what they're really trying to say. They're projecting racism that they feel in their hearts towards white men. And they're blaming us for the things that haunt them. And we're not even allowed to speak out about that as a white person. As a white person, what I'm saying right now will probably get me banned off of YouTube. This video might even disappear if it's reported. Get me banned off of Twitter as hate speech. But it's real speech. I really feel this way. I really feel that, we are living in a time that we're kind of regressing, going back to the way things used to be, except now there's this vindictiveness about it. It's almost like underneath the surface, a lot of these BLM activists are just itching to get even for something that never even affected them. Didn't even affect somebody they know that they know that they know. Slavery was a long time ago. But they just can't wait to redirect their hatred towards whites. See, that's a dangerous precedent that we have seen media work to empower and inflame. And so that's why we got these massive protests ripping down our statues, taking our national heritage and destroying it, trying to rewrite the social fabric of this country. It's not done because of a desire to achieve equality. It's a desire to assert supremacy. And I'm not going to stay silent anymore about it. I think that as a white person, my culture is under attack. You can't watch media today, cartoons, movies, and find a white normal hero. I mean, it's just the protagonists have shifted to females or to African American males, and white people are they're mocked and ridiculed everywhere you go. Why is that? Why has it become acceptable to do that to a certain demographic? Now, they will say because reasons, but all that's just noise. It's not acceptable. We got to start really understanding that as a white person, this is an uncomfortable conversation because we all acknowledged racism happened and slavery happened, and our great grandparents maybe not, but maybe weren't the best people for having slaves. I say maybe not because Who freed the slaves? Some of our ancestors, some of the very people that the blacks pretended didn't exist today. We can't allow them to destroy our image any more than it has already been done. We are not second-class citizens. We should be proud of where we come from and who we are, and stop accepting the projections from the left. So today, decide what you're going to fight for. That's my encouragement to everybody. Decide what you believe in and what you're willing to stand up for and what you're willing to fight for. And start using your voice, because they are wanting to silence us. They are trying to take away every opportunity we have to communicate. That's what brought me to Parler. And we have to use the voice that God gave us to stand up for ourselves and stand up for our culture, or we are going to lose everything that we hold dear. I got 3 children, and I do not want my children growing up being ashamed that they were born to a white father. I want them to be proud of their heritage. They're Filipino American. I married an immigrant, legal immigrant. But I want them to be proud of my family's heritage and not feel like they've got something to apologize for. It's ridiculous. We really have to understand that the radicals on the left will not stop until they have achieved their ends. We have to be as willing to fight for what we care about and what we believe in as they are to destroy what they hate and don't understand. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. It's costed me. You know, I spent 8 years of my life after I got out of the Marine Corps working as a school teacher. I've taught 8th grade through 12th grade language arts, and had a lot of kids that I mentored, that I care about. And you know, after the end of the school year, you know, a lot of those kids will send you Facebook friend invites, and I've always accepted it. You know, I share Facebook with my wife, and so rather innocuous. You know, it's not a big deal for me. It's not like I'm messaging kids like a creeper. But my point is that when you spend a year of your life taking care of these people and helping them overcome reading or writing challenges, you can't help it, but you care about them. You know them, and you've had an influence in their life. And I've had to watch some of these people really just fall off the deep end, man. I don't know what's happened to them. I blame history teachers, honestly. I do. I blame history teachers, and I blame collegiate indoctrination programs, because a lot of them have this rage inside of them from the way they're posting, and that it was not there when they were young. I can attest to that, and it's there now, and that's only a couple years removed. It's like this demonic spirit that gets injected into their hearts. And when I say it's going to cost you, you're going to have to be willing to let go of some of your relationships in order to defend the things that you believe in. You know, I've literally had to engage in uncomfortable conversations on Facebook to defend the president, to let them know, no, hey, look, not everybody that supports Trump is a racist. Not everybody that supports Trump, you know, thinks that, you know, that Mexicans are bad people. Trump doesn't think Mexicans are bad people. And immediately, even though they know better, and I've never shown favoritism or done anything to deserve it, the ad hominems start to roll in. Like, oh, if you support Trump, then you must be a... You know, they start to repeat all that programming and conditioning. And it's going to hurt. But what hurts worse is staying silent and having all that guilt because you're not speaking up for what you believe in. Nah, man. We've been lied to. Political correctness is not about being polite. Political correctness is about learning to take what you believe and take what you care about and squash it so you don't make someone else feel uncomfortable, and then not speaking up whenever somebody says things that make you feel uncomfortable instead. You know, it's only the conservative that are politically correct. You ever notice that? The left has no problem insulting us, attacking us, being vicious and horrible. It's only the white males and, you know, the white people in general that adhere to it. We need to stop. We need to stop playing by their games. We need to take a page from Trump. And that doesn't mean that we have to explode on people with a bunch of vulgarity and just, you know, become leftist ourselves. But it does mean that we need to speak up and use our voice and use logic to challenge their ideals and their belief sets. Now, you're going to see something happen when you do that. You're going to see that they don't know how to really handle that, because a lot of what the left believes is hyperbolic, just complicated, jumbled, conflicting beliefs. They don't even make sense. They're like, we stand against racism, but yet they very much are being racist against certain people. So when you start pointing out these things, like Black Lives Matter, unless it's an unborn child, they're going to get mad and they're going to say some things, but it's all good. We can take that, right? We can take that, because after that conversation's over and those people calm down, what we tell them and what we leave them with just might wake them up weeks down the road, months down the road. Everybody gets red pilled in a different way. But if you're screaming at them, if you're getting mad and you're calling them terrible things in return, you ain't going to change anybody like that. You ain't going to wake anybody up like that. Logic has to be used to defeat the leftist programming. That's what they fear. That's why they're trying to take us off social media. That's why they're trying to censor us. So just to kind of recap, man, I think a lot of what we're told we are as conservatives is just projection from the left. They are what they claim we are. They have become what they think they hate. And we have to use our voices to speak out against that. Embrace our heritage. Be proud of who you are. Stop letting them tell us that we're bad people just because we're white. And start standing up for each other, man. There's going to be some people that listen to this think I'm a white supremacist. It's not about being a supremacist. It's about being a human being. It's about understanding that I have inherent worth because I am a human. All humans do. And we should judge each other by the character of our soul and the content of our soul, not by the color of our skin. The left have forgotten that. We got to remind them. But don't be too discouraged when you start taking shots from them, because when you're over the target, that's when you're taking fire. Hopefully, I didn't bore everybody too long. You lasted through these 12 minutes long video. Sorry about that. Take care, everyone.